Hello everyone and welcome back to Ocean Interaction. In this series, we are building a full set of highlight materials in Unreal Engine, starting from the simplest overlay and going all the way to advanced animated and interactive effects. If you haven't checked out the earlier level yet, make sure to watch them first. You will find the full playlist link in the description below. All these materials are completely free inside Core Plus free, and the advanced versions are included in Core Plus content or any of Core Plus paid plugin. You will find all the download link right there in the description. Once you have added the Core Plus plugin, just click on the Core Plus icon inside Unreal Engine. Then go to Assets, Materials, Effect and Highlights. You will see every highlight level from the simplest overlay to complex animated effect. If you own paid Core Plus plugin, you will also unlock the advanced materials and a full showcase section where you can preview and instantly download complete material pack with just a one button click. And remember, Core Plus keep expanding with new updates, materials and effects. So getting in early means you will have a lifetime access at the lowest price possible. Before we begin, just a quick favor. This tutorial takes a lot of time and care to design, record and edit. So if you enjoy them, please like, share and subscribe. It's totally free and it really helps me create more Unreal Engine content for you and the community. And don't forget to join our Discord for feedback, help or behind the scene updates. In the last tutorial, we have created this animated shield effect material. Check it out if you haven't already. In this tutorial, we are going to create this animated highlight effect controlled by texture to create a different effects. Let's get started. Let's start by setting up the project. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all the meshes we need to showcase this level 11 material. So let's get started with that. Next, I'm going into the content browser and create a new folder for storing our level 11 material. Next, I'm going to create a material and material instance for our level 11 material. Now I am going to set this material instance as an overlay material in our message. So select the material instance, go to level, select the message and search for overlay. Set this material as overlay for both static mesh and skeletal mesh. Go to content browser and save all. Now let's start building our material. Set the blend mode to mask and shading model to unlit. Turn on the two-sided mode. First, I am going to create a texture that we are going to use for controlling our animation. For that, first let's create a reroute node. Right click and search for named reroute node. Name it texture. Add a switch node. Right click and search for switch. Connect the switch node into the texture. Next, add a scalar parameter. To create a scalar parameter, right click and search for scalar parameter. To create with shortcut, press S on your keyboard and left mouse button. Name it effect. Set 0 as a default value and connect it into the switch value. Next, create a texture sample. Right click and search for texture sample or press T on your keyboard with left mouse button. Set any image for texture. In this case, I am going to set the engine image called Game Wind. Game Wind Noise. Connect this into the default pin and the first pin. Select the switch node and in the details panel in the inputs, set name as effect 1. Next, we are going to animate the UVs. For that, right click and get the local position node. Add a multiplier node. Connect the local position value into the A pin. Create a scalar parameter. Name it UV and set 0.01 as a default value. Connect it into the B pin of the multiplier. Next, mask this multiplier output. Mask the G value and turn on the R and B value. Get a panner node. Connect the mask into the coordinates. And in the Y section, set -0.4. Create one more named reroute node. Name it UV. Connect the panner output into the UV node. Connect this UV node into the texture sample. Next, we are going to set up the color nodes. First, add a 2 vector 3 node. Press 3 on your keyboard and left mouse button to create a vector 3 node. Optionally, you can right click and search for constant 3 vector. Convert this vector 3 node into the parameters. Name it color A and color B. For color A, I am just going to set it as a red color. For color B, I am going to set 1 into the R channel, 0.8 into the green channel, and 0.02 into the blue channel. Press OK. Add a lerp node. You can press L on your keyboard and left mouse button or right click and search for lerp. Connect A into the A pin and color B into the B pin. Add multiplier node. Connect the output of the lerp node into the multiplier A pin. Create a scalar parameter. Name it intensity. Set 10 as a default value. Connect it into the B pin and set the multiplier output into the emissive color. Let's comment it out UV as UV. Next, texture. We are going to get this alpha value from the output of this texture, and we are also going to give option to set a custom texture. So let's do that. Press T on your keyboard and left mouse button to create a texture sample. Right click and convert it to parameter. Name it custom texture. You can set any image as a default image for this. Next, add a switch node, but this time we are going to add the static switch. By default, the static switch will be false and it will be used the default texture provided into this material. So get a texture reroute node. And if it's true, we are going to use the custom texture. Name it as use custom texture. So if it's true, we are going to use the custom texture provided by user. But if it false, we are going to use the inbuilt texture. So now add a power node. Connect the output of the switch into the base and 6 into the XP. Connect the output of the power into the alpha channel. Next, we are going to set up the opacity mask and world position offset. So let's start with the opacity mask. Right click and search for two-sided sign. From the output of two-sided sign, get a 1 minus node. Add a multiplier node and connect the 1 minus node into the A pin and output of the multiplier into the opacity mask. Get a funnel node. Get a 1 minus node from the funnel output. Connect the output of the 1 minus node into the multiplier. Set 1 into the exponent and leave a default value of 0.04 in the reflection. Select and commit it out as opacity mask. Select the first node and commit it out as color. Now let's set up a world position offset. Get a vertex normal WS node. Here WS stand for world space. Next, add a multiply node. Connect the world normal into the A pin. Get a texture reroute node. Get a power node. Connect the texture reroute into the base. Create a scalar parameter, name it animation edge. Set 2 as a default value. Connect animation edge into the XP. Connect the power node into the multiplier. Add one more multiplier for controlling the size. Connect output of the first multiplier into the A pin. Create a scalar parameter, name it size. Set 10 as a default value. Connect the size into the B pin. Now comment it out as world position offset and connect this multiplier node into the world position offset node. Now let's assign all the parameters into the group so that it's easy to manage and manipulate. First, color A and color B goes into the color group. Intensity goes into the color group. Now let's replace this switch with the parameter switch so that we can manipulate that value. Right click and search for switch. Get this static switch parameter. Name it use custom texture. Assign this node into the animation. Assign the use custom texture into the animation group as well. Effect go into the animation. Next, this UV goes into the animation group as well. There is no parameter in the opacity mask. I will create one more group for size and set this as a size group. An animation edge goes into the animation group. Next, I am going to save this. And let's see how this effect look like in our meshes. As you can see, it has created this nice animated highlight effect around our mesh. Next, I am going to add one more texture. Select the switch node and add one more array element. Name it effect 2. Copy this and connect it into the effect 2. Set any other texture parameter to change this effect. So in this case, I am going to set gizmo texture. Now, when I open the material instance and set the effect as 1, as you can see, it has created this new effect for our meshes. Next, let's manipulate this parameter to change the highlight effect. Congratulations, you have just created your level 11 highlight effect. And that's a wrap up for the material effects. In the next video, we will create the multiplayer compatible component for dynamically highlighting any mesh and add different filters to highlight only specific or selected meshes. Stay tuned, you wouldn't want to miss that out. If you found this helpful, please like, share and subscribe to Ocean Interaction. It really helps channel grow and let me keep sharing more free Unreal Engine tutorial with you. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep creating with Ocean Interaction. See you in the next one.